Meditation, in my perspective, is having a deeper relationship with nature, which is also the self, which is also all it is, source, energy, the field. So meditation comes in many forms. A practice of meditation might look very different from person to person. Some people might really align with the practice of a moving meditation where they're walking, where they're doing, some form of qigong, where they're dancing, without the thinking mind being attached, without entertaining passing thoughts. Maybe someone is more about music. And so Tibetan bowls, crystal singing bowls, playing a musical instrument, being in that flow of receiving. It's not, I have to create this experience. It's, what is the experience that's flowing through me? And maybe you're someone who really needs the stillness. And I would say that this is, for me, the real heart of meditation, which is bringing ourselves into a place of stillness. It doesn't mean that the body's not moving, but it means that we are in this conscious, spacious place of awareness and stillness, that we're not being thrown back and forth with passing thoughts, with arising sensations in the body, with emotions that are coming and going. That whatever we're doing so with absolute, pure attention, curiosity, and being able to hold a space for the interest in it. Then when we practice that, you could call that a more formal meditation. I'm going to meditate for, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, doing something, maybe one of the things I mentioned. Over time, you are living meditation because your neural networks, your perception, your response from reaction has literally shifted in such a way that meditation is your state of being. I am just present in awareness to what is arising, what is dissolving in my field, in such a clear and grounded way that there's a natural response that doesn't throw me off kilter. So to be able to be in that space of loving conscious awareness, however one may get there, and I would say that the practices change. You might really feel in love with yoga as a meditation for some time, and then all of a sudden want to be in complete stillness in meditation. Or maybe you want to be cooking as a meditation. And just being enveloped by every aroma, by all of the senses, by the splashing of, a drop of soup in a bowl. So it's a more intimate relationship meditation. When we choose to meditate, we're choosing to be intimate with the present moment. We're choosing to be awake and aware, curious, welcoming with wonder and awe, and then saying, okay, what next? That's the tool. That's how meditation becomes useful in practice. Meditation on a spiritual level, it helps one transcend space and time, form and figure, into the formless, into the states of limitlessness, into the state of being all things, into being no thing in one particular moment, but the possibility and potential for all things in all moments. Humans have an idea of time with the clock. It's got numbers, and there are times that we do this, and there are times that we celebrate this, and you're late and you're early, and all of these rules around this clock that's been defined. Well, it's fine to have a measure of time, you know, it's helpful. But humans become very attached to that measure of time. Even I should be this by a certain time in my lifespan attachment to time, wherein it's all unfolding in divine timing, which doesn't have numbers or clocks. You know, and each of us has our own, I would say, rate of unfolding and timing of unfolding that is going to be able to support our authentic need to learn, to expand, to grow. Even when we want to be doing things, sometimes we're held back. Well, it may not be on our human timing. We want it to go faster. Why don't I do this now? But there's a divineness, a soul aspect of us that knows that there's a little more heart expansion that needs to happen before this human is presented with the next step, which is big. It's a lot to absorb, and maybe it's a lot to be of service in this next step, and it needs to be, this human needs to be more grounded. It needs to have learned certain lessons. So in the case of our human experience as consciousness on the planet, you know, even with the shared clock, I would say time is a unique experience for each of us. The timeliness of the unfolding of our authentic self in the experience on planet Earth. The excitement is, for me, finding out what's going to happen next. I thought I knew, now I don't know anything, so tell me, show me. Transcending the time, so transcending space and time. Let's say we get into that meditative state. Well, we're not attached to the thoughts as who we are. We're not attached to our emotional experience as defining our identity. We're not attached to the body, to disease, to injury, to shape, to form, to judgment, whatever it is. We're simply holding the space for whatever's coming through. Could be judgment, could be love, could be a sound. And we're saying it's all okay. I don't need to manage, fix, or change a thing here. I don't need to control anything. Therefore, I don't even need to control time. And when that happens, we start to recognize this sensation of even losing track of our body in space. Ooh, I didn't even realize I had an arm there for a while. Because we're formless. You know, we're in this beautiful bodysuit, this vessel for a time being while we're on the planet, but we are formless. Our consciousness is formless, and it's operating the machine. The energy, the intention, and the attention. So for some people, there is an excitement about transcending space and time because it helps them connect with the greater. Something bigger than the everyday grind of what we've created to be human. The rules, the hours, the wages, the exploitation, the hierarchies, the social systems, the very, very tight boxes that we put ourselves in through gender, through money, through race, through position. And to be able to feel oneself as much more than that. In truth, this is what I am. Because when this body goes, when all these roles go, when I get fired, when I get a new job, when I get a divorce, when, you know, my children grow up and I'm recreating myself, whatever it is. They're just little experiences in the massiveness, the spacious, the timeless, the formless we. So to transcend space and time, people have done it. Astral projected, dreaming is transcending space and time. Deep forms of meditation, in other words, being in what people would call the flow state. in that moment where thinking is not directing, where something powerful is coming through, a deep knowing exactly how to connect in this moment, how to be in this moment, how to receive in this moment, how to welcome this moment. Without the resistance. And even if resistance comes up, to not be attached to it. We don't have to control it. It can still be there. We don't have to control it. If we try to control it, it makes it greater than the experience we're having of just being. So we let it go by. We make note. There it is. Let me be bigger than the thought that's coming through. Or we can grab onto the thought and then we can spend the next, several hours, what's going to happen? I'm worried about this situation. Do I have enough money? What if this happens? Oh, if this relationship crumbles. Oh, I feel so lonely. Whatever it is. Well, what if we just stayed in that present moment? We wouldn't have had that experience of suffering, most of which, and most of the time, a lot of which doesn't come to fruition. So we're also transcending space and time by hopping over there, if that makes sense. So you end up going into these multidimensional realities, which is letting the quote-unquote imagination run wild in all of these different scenarios. Well, where are you going to bring your attention to? That's the holographic reality that we're creating, and I put reality in big quotes, here on the planet. But it's just as easily wiped away and recreated in a flash, in a moment. Because that's what conscious co-creators are able to do in the body vessel on the planet.